Hi everyone, this is CoinsKid. I hope you're well. I'm just going to dive into the Chainlink chart right now. Just one more thing, if you're not a member of the Telegram group, do head over to the Telegram group. The link's in the description below. Lots of banter in there, great community that's growing. Thank you everybody in there. I want to thank you personally, from myself and everyone else in the community for building such a great, strong community in there. So yeah, it's all good. Let's keep moving forward. As you can see, Chainlink then on the 4-hourly time frame, it's bouncing off this support line in this channel. In this channel here, it's bouncing off this support line. So it looks positive for a rebound here. But we're not out of the woods yet. Okay, you can see on the 4-hour we painted that bearish candle, and we may start to form a bearish flag there. So you may see us fall out of this support line over the next few hours. Okay, that is a potential, a possibility. And what I want to do, obviously, what we need to do is try and see where our support levels are. On the 4-hourly, we're very bearish. We're getting smashed up. We're being pushed down. Okay, so you can't really look at the 4-hourly chart to see where a potential bounce could be. Obviously, other than our support line in this trading channel that we find ourselves in. So what I'm going to do is zoom out. Always zoom out, guys. You get a better view of what's going on. So we're zooming out on the daily time frame here. So on the daily, you can see we are breaking down out of this channel. But what you can see if you do look in closely there, is you see that we're back testing. We're not quite, but we are coming down to back test this 55 EMA on the daily there, which is creeping up to the bottom of the support channel. So again, it's all good. On the daily, we're in a bull market. On the 4-hourly, we're a little bit bearish, obviously going down to some support levels on the daily there. You can see we formed that bullish cross way down there on the 5th of January at the start of the year, and we've just been going up ever since then. We got pretty far extended away from the EMAs, broke down, back tested, tested some support, broke through the 20, fell through it again, and now we're back testing at support. So potentially you could be looking at a retest just to refuel of those rocket boosters, everyone, and then before we make another impulsive move back up to that level there. So let's drop a target on the previous swing low there. So I would say that was potentially a bottom when we retested that EMA there on the Fibonacci. So we'll go from that level there up to there. You can see this is a very strong upwards trend. Okay, so that one big impulsive wave there from the previous retest of the EMA, seen us go up in this massive impulsive wave off the last time we tested the EMA. That's how you can use your fibs, guys. Just target off the EMA test so you know where your local impulses and your corrective waves are. And as you see, we come back down. We've bounced off this 0382. So like I said to you, the more further you're up on the fib retest, the stronger the trend. So this is a very, very strong trend. We're in a super bull market. Failing that, if we was to lose these EMAs now, which would be bearish, it would be bearish, but it wouldn't be completely out of the question for a reversal. You may see us fall down and then target these levels here as support. So you may see us retest this 0382 as a confirmation, and then failing that, you may see us drop down further. And I would look at the golden pocket. If we was to ever fall down that far, guys, it's not out of the question. It can happen, and these things do happen. And if we did fall from this particular level now down to the 0618, you would be looking at a 30% correction. And last month we had that 30% correction from there as well. When we made that high down to there, we had that 30% correction. So nothing is ever off the table, okay? And especially with crypto, because it's such a volatile space. But hopefully we're getting the bounce here. We've bounced off this 0382 on the daily time frame, and we're just moving up and obviously hitting resistance as we creep up. You can see that the 20 EMA there is sitting on the 0236, which again is positive. It's starting to curl a little bit. Okay, so it's probably just looking for a little retest off this 55 EMA in itself. That's what happens. You'll see it come back and test it as support. Like for here, for example, when we broke out, the price action goes under, the EMA creeps down, it backtests it as support before it moves on again. And we may potentially see something like that for Chainlink over the next days to a few weeks, guys, as we do go through this bigger correction. Not necessarily confirmed, but that's potentially what you keep your eye on for, like the EMA backtest this 55 EMA before it bounces off again. Okay, it looks bearish, but it's just a test of support in a continuation trend. So that's effectively Chainlink here. And what I do want to draw your attention to is on the daily time frame here, what we are targeting is a push up to this $64.47 for Chainlink, because we believe that this pattern here on the daily time frame is a cup and handle pattern, okay, just like that. So we're forming the handle right now, and then you'll see us test these levels on the Fibonacci retracement, start to push back up, and as we get towards this neckline here, you may see us break through that neckline, back test its support, but then eventually moving up above this resistance line on the daily time frame. You see how it's acting as resistance at the moment, so we get through that and then eventually push up to that 64.70. Alternatively, you could just see us creep along under the trend line as we eventually do get there in this trend that we find ourselves in, which would be round towards that August, September time of this year, where we do come back up and we hug this line, eventually get into that target of this cup and handle pattern that we found on the daily time frame for Chainlink there. So I'll just have a quick look at Chainlink versus Bitcoin. So Chainlink versus Bitcoin here, it looks really bearish. We are pushing down under these EMAs, especially on the daily time frame here. So we are in a downtrend against Bitcoin. There's no denying that. You can see that we broke out of this falling wedge type pattern here. Okay, when we did break out of there, we did break out this pattern here, and when we broke out, usually the target is back up to where you went into it. Okay, but that obviously was extinguished by Bitcoin's parabolic run. We are breaking down against Bitcoin again, and we keep hitting our head on this 20 EMA on the daily time frame. We keep coming up in it and just failing to get through it. But we do look like we may be forming a bit of a double bottom on this particular downtrend there. So we've hit that bottom there, come back up, hit our head, come back down, and now we may be forming that W bottom that we're looking for. Okay, so it's something like this, guys, before we go back up. And then if we do start to creep back up, obviously we do need to get through the EMAs, okay, on the daily. We'll jump into the 4 hourly in a moment, but on the daily, you do need to see us push through these EMAs, and then these EMAs start to turn like this, and this will go that way, form that bullish cross just there, and which will see us pump up and hopefully lead to that alt season that we're all looking for, anticipating, everyone. So that's Bitcoin, Chainlink versus Bitcoin. Let's have a quick look at the 4 hourly. You can see there on the 4 hourly chart, we are really oversold there versus Bitcoin for Chainlink, and you can see that we are starting to turn a little bit just there. If you look in the RSI just there, yeah, so we're really oversold. A bit of a very much a bit of a bottom there for Link versus Bitcoin. So a reversal was due, but what we need to keep an eye on now is whether or not we can actually push up. You can see that we've hit our head on the 20 EMA there, which again is still bearish because it's just a continuation trend like this. Hit our head, hit our head, hit our head, pushes down to those lower support levels there. But hopefully what we need to see is get through this EMA, especially on the 4 hourly time frame, then get through that 55 EMA on the 4 hourly time frame, back test it as support before we move on again. You can see what happened there when we formed that bottom, started to creep up, it's on our head, multiple tests of that 20 EMA on the 4 hourly time frame there, Link versus Bitcoin. Eventually got through, we got rejected off that 55. So if we do get through this 20 EMA at some point, do anticipate a rejection off that 55 EMA as it creeps down like this, and then eventually we did break through it and it looked really good, but obviously then Bitcoin started to rebound after its correction and make those new highs, which seen Chainlink push down against Bitcoin. So that's Chainlink. What I'm going to do is jump into the Reef chart right now for you. So this is a great trade. You know, those that have been with me from the beginning, you know I've been targeting these highs. Okay, I do look at the comments, guys, and when we was in this downtrend here, and some of the comments that we're reading about Reef's a scam, Reef's this, that and the other, and you know, at the end of the day, this is just a reaccumulation, just like we're going through a lot of the coins at the moment, 1Inch, ADA in particular, and you know, Chainlink as well. It's struggling to get to its previous all-time high, but eventually it does come. You know, if you have patience and you stick with it, eventually you will see those return to the highs, especially when we're in an uptrend. You know, when you zoom out on the daily time frames on these projects, guys, you can see we are in that uptrend. Okay, and I always say to you, do zoom out, because then you'll get a bigger, broader picture of what's going on. And you can see we're in this downtrend here, and we look bearish. But I said we're going to get you know, if we see a bounce off this 55 EMA, that is a very positive thing. And we did get the bounce. We started to push up. We broke through the 20 EMA, and now we've just backtested at support. What I do see here, though, for Reef especially, is potentially, you know, a coming back down and backtest this 20 EMA on the daily time frame, especially. Because again, that's just confluence. It's just a confirmation of the uptrend. Okay, so you'll see it come down, backtest this, and bounce off again. It might not necessarily happen today or tomorrow, but eventually I would like to see that as confirmation, because you can see in the whole move here, we went up astronomically, come back, backtested it, went up, backtested it, went up, backtested it, but fell through because of the Bitcoin correction, came back down, bounced off the 55 EMA. So that's really positive. Okay, moving forward for Reef, we're in an uptrend. As I said to you, we reversal pattern there. We formed that double bottom on the daily. We've gone back up, and we're starting to push up now, and it looks really, really positive for Reef. So we can knock that target out there, because that was our previous high, which we smashed through. We've wicked through that, you see. We have made a new high. I know we're sitting just on the cusp of the previous high right now. That, in my opinion, is the local bottom. We may get back down there. That's not certain, but then we would be falling under this 55 EMA, and that would potentially see us turn bearish. Okay, so that time will potentially come, and we'll keep an eye on it in the channel. But so far, so good for Reef. What we'll do now is zoom in on this on the 4-hourly time frame here. Don't forget, we've still got our target up there of 0.7 cents for Reef. So that's a long-term target, which we are pushing towards there in the channel. We almost got up to our target off the Fibonacci impulsive wave there on the 4-hourly time frame. So you can see on the 4-hourly time frame, we did expect a big impulsive move off this Fibonacci retracement up to that level. We didn't quite get there. We're a little bit shy of that, but that's not a problem. It shows that the move is positive. We are coming back down now and retesting support. So what we'll do, we'll drop some Fibonacci levels on it again for you guys. You can see we've formed the bullish cross there. Okay, so when we formed that bullish cross there, we went up, we come back down, and the EMAs test each other. They back test each other, as well as the price, back test each other for support. So we may be looking at that. We may be looking at a potential cool off for Reef, and we may be looking at a potential EMA retest of support, where this sort of thing happens. The price action comes down with it, as before, sort of creeps under it a little bit before making a new high. That is a potential place. So what we'll do, we'll drop the fibs on the chart right now, guys. See where potentially we are and where we can find this support. So you can see we're now trading in this broadening channel, okay, which again is positive, and we could see a retest down here of this support and still be bullish, okay, because this is the 4-hour time frame, don't forget. When you start falling under the 55 on the daily, that's when you think, oh, okay, are we in a bear market? But until then, we always backtest that 55 on the daily as support. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're going to drop this fib out there, and we're going to say that was an impulsive wave there. We topped out there, and we can see where our potential fallback targets are for Reef moving forward. You can see we've actually backtested this 20 EMA, which is positive, and we've got that nice wick up there. But we're a little bit indecisive on that candle there, so the market doesn't kind of know what it's doing at the moment. It's kind of going sideways, and potentially we could see another roll down, another rollover, and backtest these EMAs, possibly backtesting the 55 there. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll drop the fibs on this particular target here on that chart. So that's that swing low to swing high, and as you can see, we have wicked down in this correction here of this impulsive wave and corrective wave. So it was a pretty strong correction there, but we did backtest this 0786. We now pushed up through the 0618. We are sitting around the 05. So hopefully, you know, it would be nice to get a bounce down, make that new high, but potentially we could still break down and retouch these EMAs, even fall through the EMAs, okay, and even fall through the 55 and still be bullish. So keep an eye on this channel. Potentially, if we say we bottomed out just there, okay, we could be looking at a repeat impulsive move, and we'll move this up like that. So you could be looking at a 0.61 cent Reef token on a rebound if the corrective wave is completed, and we do form another impulsive wave like we had previously. Then you could be looking at that push up there to 0.61. Yeah, so that's Reef, guys. It's all good. It's all good. It's all positive. Again, if it falls down, it's just a retest of support in this uptrend that we find ourselves in. Okay, so to everyone holding Reef, congratulations, well done, strong hands indeed. Let's take a look at 1Inch. So with 1Inch, we definitely do look like we're just going sideways and in this Wyckoff reaccumulation zone here until we get the spring, until we break out of this level here, jump out, back test it as support and move on. I did say to you, do keep an eye on this level down here though, okay, because this is a rock solid support in this Wyckoff reaccumulation like this. And what you'll see is this will act as solid support and this may act as a level of resistance. And what you're looking for is that spring out, back test, and then like that, and move on from this level of resistance there. We have only had a couple of tests of this level of resistance, so do keep an eye on that, guys, for 1Inch. But at the moment, still relatively strong. We've got a nice bit of bounce there today off that correction. We're pushing over $4.06. What we do is just trade within this range here, selling the highs and lows. So if we drop the fib on this right now, you see that was a previous bottom. That's our impulsive wave there, and you can see we did literally wick down to that 0.786. Okay, so there's your impulsive wave, your corrective wave. We did wick down to there with that correction that came today. We have been brought back up. What we need to see is a push and a stay through this EMA here on the 4 hourly time frame. So you may see a potential drop back to test this 55 EMA, and then this may start to form a bullish cross, and that may see a surge up to this high here within this channel. So you may see that push up to $4.55, but I would be expecting a level of resistance up there if we do get that far, okay? So I wouldn't say we're going to the moon just yet. So look to there to potentially exit 1Inch, and then a potential pullback down to these targets here in this channel until we get the spring and back test the support. And yeah, so that's potential trading and action for 1Inch. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. Please do smash that like button. Please do join the Telegram group, and I will be back soon with more projects this afternoon, okay? Stay strong, everyone. Back soon.